Switch chat room, take one.
When you think of a recent tragedy that you've heard about, what's a feeling that comes to mind?
Hurt.
A lot of sadness and confusion.
Hopelessness is a feeling that comes to mind, just because a lot is happening at once.
I would say confused and distraught. I would say I'm just confused. Just about why bad things happen all the time, and also just kind of just helpless, because what part can I play in it? How can I help?
I think of just having the feeling of just hurt, even if I don't know those who have been affected. Yeah, I still always feel a sense of hurt, but also sorrow and feeling helpless, like you said, just not being able to do anything is, I feel almost impacts me more just because it's that sense of helplessness.
It's just gut-wrenching, because you can't experience what they're going through until you experience it.
When was a time that you personally have experienced tragedy or loss?
In this past season of just change with graduating and all sorts of things, I have lost about 3 really close friendships that I've had all throughout high school. It's losing those friendships has been really hard to navigate. How I've dealt with them, I think it's just been a falling back on Jesus every time when I feel I can't stand anymore, just surrendering to him my hurt and honestly just my anger and bitterness towards those people.
I feel when I get faced with tragedy, when my parents got divorced when I was younger, I had this realization of, okay, my life isn't what I dreamed of it being, and I could never understand why. And now after the fact, I kind of get this open look into, okay, well, God wanted me to go down this path instead of this one.
Well, for me, I've had 3 family members pass away in my life, and the first one was really hard on me because I was super young and I didn't know what to do, so I kept in all these feelings and I didn't know how to handle them. If I ever experience that again, which I will, I know that it's okay, or that it's not good for you to keep tucking away your feelings, that you definitely need to express them or talk to somebody about how you're feeling and how you're coping with things, rather than just keeping it all away.
I never experienced loss before until last year, and just for me and my whole family, it was just something new, I guess, for really me and my brothers, and not knowing what that feeling was until then was just as of right now, one of the most painful things I've been through. But just recognizing that, okay, I've experienced this, now how can I support others that are just now going through this, or even if that's just staying with my brothers and staying more connected with them in a way.
So if you're being really honest, have you ever been tempted to blame God when bad things happen?
I've definitely blamed God for a lot of things, more towards the past, because now I feel I'm more matured and know a little bit more about God and what his intentions are and stuff. But
I definitely went through a season of anger with God throughout the divorce with my parents. Stopped going to church, stopped praying. I was just angry. He never did anything that caused the divorce. That was just the easiest person to pin it on. And so that's the first person that I pinned it on. And he loved me throughout the whole thing, even when I broke down and was listen, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I have to go through this, but I have to. And prayed, and everything went so much better after that. And I think it really helped me mature and realize that God's there for me, whether I want him to be or not. I just have to reach out and he can help me.
Some of the decisions that I've made, they could go wrong, and I turn that on God, oh, well, this didn't happen for me, and now I'm stuck in this predicament. I'm gonna blame this on God, and now I'm filled with anger and just why isn't anything going my way? And just holding that against him when it was my decision to make those choices.
I think it's just an immediate reaction that we have as Christians to blame God, especially for me, having grown up hearing certain principles from the Bible, just hearing that God's in control, like God has the whole world in his hands, like all sorts of things. Just like, well, if all these things are true, why are these things happening? Like a God so loving, a God so gentle, why are such violent, horrific things happening to someone personally or to an entire city? You know, it's just an immediate, very human reaction that we have. A big part of my journey with navigating that has just been trusting over and over and over again, coming to terms with the fact that there are going to be very many things that none of us will ever understand, and that's where faith comes into play, and that's where trusting God comes into play. Just understanding, like, being okay with not understanding everything. But I don't think I'm fully there to where I can say that all in confidence, but that's kind of where I'm at currently.
What's a way that you guys personally hold on to hope when you are experiencing something hard?
I say for me, it's like really hard to hold on to hope and just believe that there's gonna be a good outcome, or at least just a better outcome than where I'm at right now. I guess through my process of like going through loss or going through hurt, I feel like the only way that I like hold on to hope is whether that's just like connecting with God, like through prayer, or just connecting like with my closest like friends.
Seeing little sprinkles of good in my life and just the ways that he is using my hurt to help other people, and also just using stories from the Bible of seeing people in some of the worst spots that they've ever been in their lives, and then seeing like where that got them because of the way that God took care of them.
Literally just telling myself all the time that like he has a reason for everything, and it's like I have to trust in like whatever reason that may be, because like something could happen to me, I'm like, okay, like I don't know what you're doing, but I know it's gonna be something better instead of what's happening now.
To hold on to hope, I always try and include God in even like the smallest things, just so that I know that he's there and I know that he's aware of everything that's going on. Even if it's like, hey, I just want to have like a good day today. Let me, go do something for myself and go out and do whatever I need to do. As long as I can include God and somehow do something for him, that helps me keep grounded and keep hope.
What's one thing you want to try based on this conversation?
Be more open with what I'm going through in a time of tragedy and loss. Just describe like what I'm feeling in that moment, and just also like opening up and like asking someone, hey, could you like pray over me in this like in this time that I'm in right now, or even just like asking for help in any way that you can get it. I think that's something that I just need to like work on myself. So.
Being consistent in somebody's life, like if they don't have that consistency and anywhere else, like whether it's that they constantly feel like they're losing something, be the something they never lose, and be the love that never ends and companionship that's always there.
Seeking out like others that relate to you, and because I feel like I don't really reach out to a lot of people anymore of like just checking up on them or anything. And I feel like I should definitely start doing that again, and because it could like make someone's day.
I feel like I would try and get more community, talk to more people, be more open, because you never know what anybody else is going through. They could have already gone through what you're going through. They can help you. Just seeking out other people. Everybody thinks differently, so somebody could have something that you've never thought of or help you through something that you never thought that perspective of.